Hey, hi, hello. Been shooting with this camera for many years now. I just want to talk to you more about my experience shooting with it, what I like about it, what it's good at, in my opinion, and the things I don't like about it, just from a personal standpoint. So pros, well, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, as an object, it's hard to do better. The ergonomics of this camera are wonderful. Everything just is where it's supposed to be, or where you would imagine them to be. Your fingers just fall perfectly on the trigger, and the thumb in the back falls perfectly on like these different focus modes. And if you want to use this like manually, like you have this little focus wheel in the front. It's minimal, and at the same time it's just the right amount of buttons that you want on a camera like this. The lenses for this are hands down some of the best lenses that I've ever shot with. 28, 35 is the one that's on there. This is the 90, which I rarely use, but when I use it, it's always something spectacular always comes out. And I believe that is the 45. Contax mounted on this one. I bought the whole kit in a bundle from this French photographer, and I paid like less than 2,000 euros for it at the time, which seems like a lot of money, but for the amount of times that I use this camera, it's really worth it, for me at least. And now just the body and maybe one lens is worth that much. So yeah, I would be very sad if something happened to it. The autofocus on this thing is really one of its core features. I really have rarely used it in manual mode. Yeah, it's that precise. I've shot like a few things for jobs on this, and it just gives you the peace of mind to know that like you're not gonna have focusing issues, you're not gonna have exposure issues. If you control your shots bright and the lighting associated to the shots, you're pretty safe. You're pretty safe in knowing that you're gonna get the shots that you envision. I've also really been enjoying this camera at night. For a while I was really living between Berlin and Paris, both cities where in winter it gets dark really super early in the day. It was a lot of fun just shooting street signs, buildings, historical buildings, that sort of stuff. What I've enjoyed shooting the most, and it's definitely a mode that's very specific to this camera, is the double exposure mode. Basically there's a little pictogram, do you say this, like an icon of like two frames overlapping each other, and then you just get into this mode, trigger it, go back to S, trigger another one, and there's been so much room for experimentation with that mode, and it's one of the things that I've definitely enjoyed using the most. With this one, it's a breeze. As far as flaws with this camera, there's really two main flaws I have with it. It's quite heavy, and for that reason, although I used to really take it out with me wherever I went, it's less and less the case, and now it's more like a conscientious decision when I take it out and when I leave it at home, whereas I always just used to bring it with me. But I found that the last times I did that, like going to the lake or to a festival or something, I found myself just kind of being stressed out and really felt like I was babying it around. Mostly because of the cost associated to it, but also just the weight of it. It's not a light object. The second reason is that I'm constantly aware of its imminent demise. These cameras are known to break for no reason at any given time. I mean, I can turn it on right now, and it's working. But I know that just one day I will pick it up and it will just stop working, and it will probably be most likely an electronic issue. And I know that some people repair them, and I have the contacts in case when this day happens. But yeah. I'm back. I've charged my camera now for 20 minutes, so I hope that the camera stays. This is a beauty, and I'm very grateful that I've now owned this camera for 5 years and I've never needed a repair on it. It's been consistently giving me very good results, and I hope that for many years to come. And even if it were to break today, actual wood, I would still be very, very happy and pleased with all the images that I've been able to get out of it up until this point. This camera will just never let you down as far as like the focus goes, whereas I found that its cousin, the T2, which I also have right here, sometimes messes more the focus. And with the T2, I find that I use kind of the manual mode a lot more, or like I double check and barely put it on automatic focus. I just kind of double check the metering is always right, whereas with the G2 I don't even overthink it. I just put it on auto, shoot, comes out. It's really a dream camera for many photographers, and I understand why after owning one for so many years. To be honest, if this broke, I would definitely buy another body, just because it's so natural at this point to shoot with it, and I feel like my camera collection would really miss something if I didn't have it handy. This one is by far like my favorite 35mm one. I hope that you've enjoyed my rundown of the camera, and I'm happy that I could share my experience of shooting with it and kind of give you my honest opinion on it. I'm gonna leave you with some images shot with this beautiful camera. Wishing everybody a beautiful weekend, beautiful day. It's the weekend as I'm shooting this, and it's a beautiful cold day in January here in Paris. And I'm going to run to actually do a shoot with this camera, but I wanted to take a moment to share my 2 cents on how I believe this one's performed. So I hope that some of you found this useful, and if you want to share your experience with this camera, or if you have questions about it, don't hesitate to write it down below. And if I happen to see it, I'll be happy to answer you. So that's for that. Leave you with a few shots, and until next time.